Well, show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why.
Well, it's Saturday night once again, and I'm here, and I have 3 little Glencairn glasses and a full glass of water right here to start. I mentioned at one time that I had a bottle of anCnoc 12, and it was before I started really making videos about whiskey. So here I have an anCnoc 12. Maybe I should turn this light down a little bit and make it look a little bit more friendly rather than glaring. This a miniature of anCnoc 12, which was sent to me by Jackass. I think he must have been watching the video where I said I had anCnoc before but never made a video of it. So he conveniently sent me this little sample of anCnoc 12. So I remember liking it. I remember it being fruity and pleasant. What does it say on here? Well, let's pour it first. Let's pour it into the little Glencairn first. There goes the whole 50 mils. I'll turn the bottle sideways, let it all drain to one end. And there's your standard 50 mils, right to the fattest part. Now, what does it say on the bottle? It's really miniature and small, so I have to turn off the light and get my glass out here. Knockdew Distillery, established in 1894. One of the smallest and most enchanting in the Scottish Highlands, is renowned the world over by malt enthusiasts for producing a single malt that masks every day or makes every day a special occasion. Okay. The Knockdew Distillery nestles under the mysterious Knock Hill, known to locals by its Gaelic name of anCnoc. Curiously, the single malt produced from the Knockdew Distillery is not named after the distillery. It is proudly named after the anCnoc, which provides the source of the pure crystal spring water that is an essential element of anCnoc single malt Scotch whisky. Nose, color, and taste. Well, I'm not going to read those. I'm going to tell you what I think. However wrong it may be, or however right it may be, it's going to be what it's going to be. Turn the lights down a little bit. There. Okay. Got me a little sample of anCnoc. Somebody was telling me less arm and more wrist. Well, I don't know. I seem to be using the wrist quite a bit. The arm seems to be a secondary thing. Ah! Wait a minute. This is good. It's fruity. I'm getting some apples and pears. Quite intense apples and pears. Some plum. You know, it's interesting giving this a nose some 4 years after, well, 3 or 4 years after I had the first, after I've had a bottle of it the first time. I'm getting some chocolate too. Some of that classic Tootsie Roll kind of flavor. It tastes just like a Tootsie Roll. It smells just like a Tootsie Roll tastes. And pear and apple. Maybe more apple than pear. A little bit of cinnamon seems to go along with the apple. getting a bit of caramel too. I don't know what kind of barrels or casks they used. It's got a little, I don't know if it's been colored. I believe it's been bottled at 40% or 40%, 43% alcohol by volume. Let's see what it says here. 43%. Okay, that's better than 40. So it's going to carry some of the flavor across. 43% is commendable for a 12-year-old. Usually 12-year-old, 40%, 40%, 40%. The chocolate Tootsie Roll note seems to have faded away. I'm getting more apples and cinnamon. Now, I'm beginning to get vanilla. Yeah, it's good to let it open up a little bit. Vanilla. Some caramel coming in with that too. Now the fruits, the apple and what little pear there was seems to be moving aside. Giving me more caramel and more vanilla. Maybe a little bit more of that Tootsie Roll again. Interesting nose. What did they say? Nose, soft, very aromatic with a hint of honey and lemon in the foreground. I wasn't getting lemon. Okay. That what I get as Tootsie Roll could be some kind of honey. And lemon? If anything, there's a little more orange than lemon coming out now. Either way, it is fruity. No, there's that Tootsie Roll again. Maybe I experience different things from different people, or what they consider to be the smell of honey is different from the smell of honey that I know. Don't forget the honey that I'm familiar with is the craft honey that comes in the craft honey jar. And their honey might be fresh bee honey from the hills covered with clover in Scotland. So honey, to me it's a little more chocolatey than honey. But that's what I get, that's what they get. Who can be wrong? Nobody can be wrong. That's the beauty of it. Nobody can be wrong. Let's go for the palate. Okay. My first impression on the palate is a lot of lemon citrus. Lemon citrus, I'm not getting any chocolate at all. Usually the second mouthful is a little bit more telling of what it is. Oh. some caramel, lemon, definitely lemon. Citrus, lemon. There's a sweetness too. There's a sweetness with the lemon. A bit of apple. Just a bit. The sweetness with the lemon. There's a sweetness there. I can't really pinpoint what the sweetness is, but there's a sweetness and there's a lemon. And I don't get a lot of complexity. Oh, excuse me. There's no bitterness at all. It's just a sweetness. Try again. Yeah, a lot of citrus. Lemon, orange, and a sweetness. It's a hint of caramel. Not a lot of vanilla. Just a lot of sweetness. What do they say? Which might be interesting. Taste. Sweet to start with an appetizing fruitiness. Long, smooth finish. A malt for every occasion. Okay, that's what I got. Sweet, fruity, and finish. Yeah, it's long and smooth, but it's still sweet and fruity. Maybe a little bit. No. Long, smooth finish. Yeah, you could say that. There's still a little bit of that sweetness and a little bit of that fruitiness. It does take a while to taper off. They're right. But would I buy a whole bottle of it again? I don't know. I haven't bought one in about 3 or 4 years. I probably won't. But this was a good way to revisit it and tell you what I think of it now rather than what I may have thought of it back in the day when I actually had a full bottle. Interesting little experiment. Thank you very much, Jackass, for providing this sample. And Slantiva.
Food quick.
Food quick.
Food quick.
Food quick.
Food quick.
Yeah.